I'll start with the first one, and I believe we started with Scott both times. We're supposed to alternate, so
Okay.
Tyler, if you will
Sure.
take this one. They both get a chance to answer, so
Okay.
no matter who it's
Well,
addressed.
I'm kind of combining two questions I have. The reality check is, and I direct this to Tyler, is you are only one of so many. And we do want a voice. That's one of my complaints with our president. One is I don't hear him in the news much. I don't see him on the front line. But the reality check is Washington's still Washington, and you do have to work with other people, and you can't always change everything overnight. I worry about whether it's a very conservative person or not. What are you going to do when you get there to to keep from becoming part of the problem? I mean, it is just, there's something up there. It's in the water, the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it. So I'd like to know from both of you, what are you doing? What are you going to do to protect yourself?
I'll tell you, I'm really glad you asked this question because it's something I get asked quite a bit. The best thing you can do when you get to Congress is you find your allies. You find the people that are freshmen, you find the people that are conservative, and you group together and you form a caucus so that you can all vote together certain ways. It's actually the way that the current House system has been set up, and I plan to use those rules that the Congress has kind of set up anyway, unofficially of course, to work against the system that's there. I really feel like no matter what, we're going to have a very strong delegation from Texas, a very conservative delegation that we can count on. I'm counting on Congressman Poe, counting on McCall and Culberson. I'm counting on other people from Texas to step up and say, you know what, this is time for an end. If we can't get that coalition together, then you're right. One person in Congress, it's very hard for one person to be effective. But you know what? And a lot of people will call him a kook. Ron Paul was able to get the Federal Reserve audit up all the way through, almost all the way through the House of Representatives now, and he's been doing it for 20 years, working on getting that thing through. And right now, he has even the support of Barney Frank. And, you know, it took Kevin Brady a long time to get on to a lot of things. He's not much of a leader. What he does is he compromises. And compromise, sure, gets you more votes when you get along the way, but it also means that you've given up on your principles. And I'm not a person who votes unprincipled. So, you know, I'm certainly happy to make friends with people. I'm certainly happy to discuss my point of view. I'm certainly happy to try to bring them over to my side. I'm not willing to compromise on my conservative principles. I believe that's why we're where we are today, is because too many people are willing to compromise. Too many people think it's important to be bipartisan. I don't want to be bipartisan, I want to be conservative. And I want to be an effective leader, and the best way to do that is to have a strong opinion, and you listen to the people around you and come up with a solution to bring them to your side.
It's interesting you brought up caucuses and what they're doing today, and we all know that that's worked so well. Right now, we've had huge movements in the conservative movement. We've moved all the way down. We're strictly constitutionalists. Oh wait, no, we're not. You know, doing the same thing over and over again is not the same. Einstein actually defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I will absolutely not compromise my principles, but there is such a thing as principled compromise. The way we got the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution was through principled compromise, because the Declaration of Independence, 56 men sat down, they disagreed. There's going to be 435 people in the House of Representatives. They're not all going to agree. You do have to find ways to move the ball forward. We have to move the agenda down the field. If I can take 10% this year and 20% the next year, that's progress. Saying no when you're standing alone is not progress.
Again, I'm in a position of disagreeing. A real leader is somebody who will stand up and say no when the time is right to say no. A real leader will stand up in front of everyone when everyone else is against them and say, you know what, the right thing to do here is this, and they will keep doing that no matter what. And I didn't learn from my experience at the Air Force Academy or in the military, which I know you also were in, and at ExxonMobil as a project manager, that when the time is right, you shouldn't keep your mouth shut. You open your mouth and you be the leader. If you keep your mouth quiet and you are willing to do principled compromise, then yeah, you'll get some things across, but you're also sacrificing what's important. And what's important is that you're building your leadership, and you're building our our votes here. And the people of this district will support somebody who is going to be their leader. They're not going to support somebody who's going to be a compromiser.